Hey, welcome to Let the Light In. Today we are reviewing the Viltrox 85mm Pro autofocus lens coming in with an aperture, wide open aperture point of f1.4. This is a full frame lens. Of course, we're reviewing it on the Sony E mount, and the price point for this lens is $598 US. Now this is a full frame lens. It's got a customizable function button on the left hand side of the camera body. Its construction, the way it's put together, the way it feels is it's very well made. This is a very well made lens. It's weather sealed completely. It's a all metal body. It is dust and splash resistant construction. It's got a USB-C port on the back for future firmware updates, as well as it's going to boast a 77mm filter thread. Now, talking about the aperture ring, the aperture range goes from f1.4 wide open and closed down all the way. That's going to be f16. Now, this aperture ring can be clicked or declicked depending on your preference, whatever you want to use it for. And both ways it feels and it operates great. Now, between f16 and automatic aperture setting, there's not necessarily a hard stop. There's a somewhat firm stop. And if you are in a declicked aperture ring mode, that kind of somewhat firm stop is less so firm. Whereas if you are rotating it in its clicked aperture mode, that more firm stop at the end in between f16 and automatic is going to have more resistance to it. Overall, it should catch you so you're not just rotating through to automatic too easily, but it's going to give you more resistance in clicked aperture mode, which is the mode that I prefer, so I didn't really have any problems there. And just to give you a heads up, clicked aperture is going to give you a firmer stop in between f16 and automatic mode. The focus ring is nice and smooth. It's got a lighter amount of rotation resistance to it, but it feels and operates great. Now, as far as autofocus goes, this lens has dual hyper VCM motors, which I can confirm are completely silent. Its minimum focus distance is 2.6 feet, which would translate to 0.79 meters for us metric users. That is the minimum focus distance. And I can say that it was putting it through the focus pull test, it had incredible results. Now, it did pull a little bit too close on the plants in the front, but overall this is wide open at f1.4, and we can see that it's accurate, it's reliable, and it's genuinely very impressive in the different kind of situations that I put it in. You can see wide open at f1.4. It performs admirably and gives you great results. And of course, wide open at f1.4, you get great background separation and your subject is clear and precise. Now, focus breathing, very, very controlled, nothing to worry about there. There's no jarring movements as you pull focus. Everything is looking good. Chromatic aberrations, you don't really need to worry about it. All the footage came back clean. I didn't have any aberrations running through, no green or purple kind of magenta fringing at all. Images came back clean. And as far as flaring goes, we're looking at an evening sunset here, and sun stars aren't necessarily incredibly pronounced, but flaring was not an issue. And if anything, it created what I would call a nice little cinematic amount of light in this evening sun you can see on the bottom of the screen there. As far as using this lens in a bright midday, very, very sunny kind of blue sky type conditions, the big lens hood was enough to cover and protect my footage from any unwanted results of flaring or sunspots or anything like that. So footage was always clean, it was always crisp, and your subjects had, whenever it was wide open, f1.4, f2.8, all that kind of stuff, your subject has great background separation. It's very visible, very clear, as well as I want to comment on the clarity and the texture that this lens is able to provide you with is very, very impressive. You can see, for example, looking at this bee in the flower, you can see the hairs of the bee. It's crisp, it's defined, it's very detailed. And so this lens is creating these very clean, beautiful images. I think all the footage that I shot with it and all the images that I have, it's beautifully looking. It looks fantastic. And you may say, with this comparison I'm about to bring, you may say, well, it's not exactly fair, but I'm going to say it's not exactly unfair either. I don't think it's a complete stretch if we do a quick little reference with the Sony A7IV G Master lens, which is a lens that's going to cost you $1,000 more to purchase, right? So it's not a perfect comparison, but they do behave. If you look at the MTF charts and you look at performance and you look at real world results, wide open at f1.4, they behave very similarly. Now, when you close down the G Master, when you close down both lenses to f8, the G Master is going to give the better, basically perfect performance. But whenever you take into consideration that the Viltrox Pro 85mm is coming in with a price tag of $598, it really makes this lens even more impressive that you can look at the MTF chart, that you can look at the real world performance. And in the end, they are actually incredibly comparable. In releasing this lens, Viltrox has released another exceptional lens. It's got fantastic performance at a very attainable price point. And so I think this lens is really going to appeal to people who are looking for kind of that telephoto portrait length lens that, you know, they want G Master performance, but they want it at an attainable, affordable 2025 living price point. And this Viltrox 85mm Pro lens f1.4 is kind of that answer to that gap. And so if you're interested in purchasing this lens, I can definitely recommend it. I had a great time using it, and it's an impressive lens, especially at the price that it's coming in. If you want to buy this lens, you can go to theviltrox.com and you can use code Craig, C-R-A-I-G, all caps, and that'll get you 10% off on the Viltrox store on your order. Or you can go through the other links and buy through whatever store you want to do, B&H, Amazon. We'll have it all down there for you. If you want to purchase it, it's there waiting for you. If you don't want to purchase it, that's all good. Hope you enjoyed the review. Consider subscribing and take care. And remember to let the light in.